Okay. Let me adjust my fat ass. Hello, peoples. Hi, everybody. Guys, if you notice, I'm just going to come out with it. It's been cold out here, so a girl had to put her hair in. Okay. It's a little too cold to be having short hair. I don't know what's going on with spring, why it's not coming around, but yes, I wear extensions, guys. I do wear extensions sometimes. So, hi, Ultimate Queen. How are you, sweetheart? How are you guys doing? Guys, if you're joining, please say hello. All right. For anyone who's new to the live, this is a live for, hi, Charles. How are you, sweetheart? This is a live for victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. I'm doing good, honey. I'm doing good, Ultimate Queen. Thanking God for another day, you know? Hi, Baby Shark. Well, welcome. I'm glad you can make it. Um, WM Fonseca, welcome. Hi, Lurid. Welcome. Susan. Um, if I butchered your name, guys, I'm so sorry. So please, please, please forgive me. Oh, Miss Chipmunk, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Nwalda? I hope I said it right, honey. I'm sorry. Well, that's what you're here for. We're going to talk about it, okay? Eli Designs, welcome. Positive vibes only. I love it already. Welcome, sweetheart. We got Mervin. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, Susan, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you guys for the compliments. Don't mind, I'm wearing really dark lipstick, and for some reason, with the lighting, it's like really all of the colors are really popping out. So please don't mind. Well, something to let you guys know, because after I had my discard, I did a lot of work on myself. I work on myself, internally and externally. Yes, I got my teeth done. I started, just fixing myself up, doing different things for myself, and I am truly, I'm just truly, truly glad that I was able to make it out alive, let alone make it out to make myself look better than I did before. And it actually makes me feel great, and if that's something that you guys want to do too, after dealing with the discard, I know it's really tough, do what makes you happy, do what makes you feel good, and if you wanted to just like spruce up your confidence, hey, you want to get some stuff done, get some stuff done. But just make sure you're doing it for you, make sure you feel good about it for yourself. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Hi, Stella. We got, let's see, Butterfly. How are you, sweetheart? Oh, Country Club girl. I'm so happy that just to hear that. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Joy, welcome. Cherry girl, you know it. You know it. For some reason, I think red is my color. Like there's something red on me. Always something red on me. Oh, Butterfly, thank you, and God bless you, sweetheart. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, guys, you guys listen, if you guys have made it this far, trust me, you're all survivors. You're not victims anymore. Okay? You are survivors. And I want you to keep telling yourself that you're survivors. Janae, yeah, my eyeliner, I have a I always I love the cat eyeliners. My mom used to always do her eyeliners in cat style, and then I was like, let me. It took me years to learn how to do it too, because that trying to get it even never worked. Never worked. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, sweetheart. Finally divorced my narc. The trauma bond is real. Yes, it is, guys. It is truly real. I wanted to talk to you about some things because, you know, um, a Mubler. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name, guys. I'm so sorry. Please, please. But thank you for the compliments we heard from on my lipstick. Thank you. I just got discarded. My heart hurts, but I'm glad it's over. But I feel sick. It, you know, something that's that tug of war between your head and your heart, sweetheart. And trust me, the discard, they did you a favor. They did you. If you guys had the chance to discard these selfish people, God bless you. Congratulations, because you are on your way. But if you were discarded, I know the pain. I know how that feels, guys. And trust me, you will get through it. Okay, you will get through it. It's going to take a little time, but you're going to get through it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, we're going to go more into it. I first want to say welcome, guys. Welcome to all of the, to all of the people who joined my lives before. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your time with me, guys. Much love to you all. And to everyone who's new, stick around, listen. You got questions, you can ask. Okay, there's no dumb questions here. And of course, if you need any further help, I'm going to give you all of my info for you to contact me, and we're going to help you guys get through it, okay? We're going to help you get through it. So the first thing I got to do is give the disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional, at least not yet, but I do study psychology, and I'm just simply someone who's gone through the same thing that you guys have gone through. I've done my due diligence. I've been doing my research, and I'm just trying to help people get through the motions and just get out of the victim mode into survivor mode, into whatever path they're led to. Okay. So please, if you are getting therapy, this is not meant to be a replacement. This is just for general information, and of course, to help you with your specific, your specific issues. If you, of course, want to take my advice, and just continue to do your therapy, continue to do your inner work, your outer work. Okay, continue to do what you've been doing. Okay, continue to stay on that path. Number two, I have a no bully rule. Okay. So anyone who joins the chat and bullies anyone inside within the chat or myself, please understand I have moderators. Pray to God that they get to you before I do. Because I repeat, I am not a social media influencer. Okay. I don't have to watch my mouth. I don't have to watch what I say. And if I catch anyone bullying anyone else in this chat, trust me, I will send you home holding yourself. Okay. Let's just make that clear. Okay? Nothing but love here. This is a safe space for every and anybody who wants help. And number three, guys, if you already know the deal, throw up those purple hearts for me, please. This is for awareness, narcissistic abuse awareness, domestic abuse awareness, giving voices to the voiceless, helping people get through their emotions that are struggling, trying to help people who are going back into these situations. And, for those who didn't make it out, okay? For those who unfortunately could not make it out, you're still giving them voices, guys. Okay? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so, so, so very much. Yes, just like she says, let me just go back. IJC tabs. Yes, we've been put down enough already. No need for more bullying. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? And I'll tell you guys right now, if some of you don't know, I know a lot of you already do because I say it all the time. I'm from New York, and if you know how New York people are, we could be rude, we could be crude, but of course, listen, I don't think a bully would want me to bully them. I really don't, because I got away with words, and I could seriously give it to them. JTH3 Rebel, I'm a Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn, you guys already know, okay? You guys already know. Absolutely. Absolutely. 777 just says, don't allow their words to carry as much power. Absolutely. Okay. Yep. No, look, look. Yes, Cherise, right. Brooklyn and Queens. That's right. Tabby, my sister married a narcissist. I want better for her. I know you do. I know you do, because when we find out that people that we know, people we care about, are in relationships with narcissistically abusive people, guys, by the way, thank you so much for the gifts. If you're sending me gifts, thank you. If I don't get to thank you personally, I thank you so, so very much. It's so appreciated. Okay, thank you. I know that when we come in, when we get involved, you know, when we have people in our lives that are dealing with these types of people, especially if we've already experienced these types of people, trust me, we would do anything to try to get them out of it, anything to try to push them. The problem with it is that as much as you can try to give them information and you can try to, you know, you can try to show them, we were in that space too, where we were in denial, right? How many of us have had people that tried to point out certain flaws and certain issues about the person or the people we were dealing with, but we denied that. We stayed in that, you know, listen, it's not really that serious. It's not like that. You know, they're just had, you know, they had a bad life. We used to make excuses for them. You know, as much as you would want to change the circumstance for your sister has to change it herself. She really has to change it herself. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Okay. And we've all been there. We have all been there. Unfortunately, you know, she will, much like all of us, will have to learn the hard way. All right. I wish, I mean, if you want to point her in this direction, if you want to show her videos and show her things, please do. Because who knows, maybe it might open her eyes. Maybe she may see certain things and say, oh, wait a minute, this is resonating with me a little too much. Or, you know, because sometimes people who are not aware need a little push to be given that awareness. All right. Because none of us knew, guys. Nobody here knew that you were dealing with, you didn't know you were dealing with a narcissist. You didn't think you were dealing with someone like that. You didn't even know what a narcissist was until all of these videos started popping up and all of these, you know, these different signs that pointed you in that direction. And then, you know, you start looking at the behaviors and the patterns and you say, oh, crap, that was what I dealt with, you know, or until you go to therapy. Like, how many of you have experienced breakups where it was so traumatizing that you had to go to therapy for it? Not many, but there's always that one particular relationship that's going to point you in that direction. Like, yo, this is so damn bad. I have to go to therapy for this? Like, really? What the hell did I experience? What did I endure? You experienced narcissistic abuse. And I want you guys to understand something. A lot of people try to focus solely on the label of the person being a narcissist. And anyone who joins the chat, you know, listen, they don't have to be a narcissist for you to endure that type of abuse. A manipulator is simply that, a manipulator. So you can be traumatized in your relationships. And it doesn't have to be an actual narcissist that's doing these things. It could be anyone who has severe trauma as their background and they utilize that as a defense, you know, towards their partner. So just keep that in mind. Because I have a lot of people who ask me, you know, well, you know, what if they do this? What if they do that? What if, don't stay so focused on if they're, you know, if they're a narcissist or not. Be more focused on what I told you guys last week. Be more focused on their behaviors, on their patterns. Focus on what it is that they're doing, the signs that they're demonstrating in your relationship. That's the primal focus. Lex, I'm sorry. Let me just make sure I get you because I saw your okay. Um, Lexi, I'm in a new relationship, and when I tell you we have been together 5 months, and it's been the worst. I mean, in the beginning stages, which is what's the common pervasive characteristics of narcissists? Love bombing, right? In the beginning stage, they're going to love bomb you. They're going to give you all those sweet little nothings. You're going to have great conversations. You're going to be involved with each other on a consistent basis. It's going to be great. It's going to be cool. That's the honeymoon stage. Okay. That's the honeymoon period. And then over time, they're going to get comfortable. So when you're getting comfortable, they're getting comfortable. And then what they're doing is they're basically slowly transitioning into their true nature. Their true nature is severe and utter, you know, they're a severe and utter void. So now that they've grown accustomed to you and they've gotten you into the place where they want you to be, okay, where you think you want to be, but where they want you to be, then what they're going to do is now their true nature starts to come into surface. Now they start to show you another side of them. Thank you so much for that, sweetheart. They start to show you another side of them. They start to show you nasty attitudes, you know, just like mood swings back and forth. That's called the Jekyll and Hyde effect. So, you know, a narcissist mask can slip as early as a couple of months or further in, depending upon how, you know, how soon they can actually kind of let it slip a bit. All right. Because in the beginning, you guys would not have dealt with these people if you had seen that in the beginning. I don't care what anybody says. Okay. I don't care if you're a codependent. I don't care if if you had seen that right from the get-go, you would not have dealt with that. Okay? That's why they say first impression, you got to make sure it's something that they're never going to forget. Okay? And during my time, I mean, listen, I've had my history of dealing with, narcissistic, sociopathic type people, people with mental illness, bipolar disorder. Like I've had my history, and I used to always ask God, what what did I do in a past life that I am entering relationships with the kind of people that have these problems, and what did I do to deserve that? Fact of the matter is, I didn't do anything to deserve it, but because I suffered codependency and I received some attention, even in the beginning, I received attention and affection from these individuals, and they were showing me a side of themselves that it soothed my codependency. It soothed my fear of abandonment. And it just pretty much kind of gave me that sense of I'm wanted, I'm accepted, I'm cared about. It was easy for me to fall into the mix of it because I was craving that connection, that attachment. And over time, when they showed me their true nature and they showed me what they really were, now my caregiving, because if you're codependent or if you're ex-codependent, you know what caregiving is. Um, I'm sorry, Team Rand. My sun sign is Capricorn, moon is Libra, and ascending is Leo. I'm with it, guys. I'm with it. I'm hip. I know how to tell my you know. But yeah, I kept holding on because I kept trying to think that maybe I can change this person. Maybe my love can change this person. So being as my caregiving, my maternal instincts were kicking in, I wanted to change this person. I wanted to change this person's mind and show them, listen, I love you. I care about you. And I want to show you that this can be everything you ever dreamed of. Just give me a chance. When the reality of it was that I was the one who was giving them a chance because even though I was codependent, I had love, I had emotions, I had empathy and feelings. And they saw that. They saw that. People can pick up, guys, if you suffer fear of abandonment, if you suffer, insecurity issues, if you have, and the reason they can pick this up is because whether you consciously or subconsciously, you project that. You do project that, believe that or not. And when they pick up those fears that you have, the best way to control someone is find out their fear and use it against them. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. The best way to control someone is to find out their fear and use it against them. So what happens? They saw that you feared losing them, whatever point in your relationship. If you fear losing someone, right? And they have no intention on being, keeping it 100 with you. They have no intention on really committing to you, but you have something that they want. They're going to pretty much take your fear, put it in their pocket, and continue to be the one that controls everything in your relationship. Okay. Try to also, guys, because what I wanted to talk about today were the types of wounds that a lot of us probably have that we don't realize, or had, I should say, if you're getting the help that you need. But you have trauma wounds. There are wounds that a lot of you probably have that you're not even aware of, or that you didn't even think you could possibly have because you subconsciously put it to the back of your head. We suffer a lot of trauma wounds from our childhood. And as we grow up, we tend to push it to the back of our head and think, yeah, we got this. We got this. We can get into relationships. We got this. And the fact of the matter is that your trauma wounds, for some reason, and I don't know, maybe someone else can explain it to me, but for some reason, it's like they could sniff it out of you. They could sniff there's something there. But there was something that you did. There was something you did, something that you showed them. Okay, because no one knows you're a codependent just by looking at you. No one can tell, oh, you're a codependent, or you have abandonment issues, or you're a sociopath, or you're a schizophrenic, or what have you. They can't tell these things just by looking at you. There's something in your actions that have shown them that I can play with you. I can toy with your emotions because I know for a fact I pretty much know how to maneuver around you. Okay. Now you have to figure out what the hell is it that I am doing? What am I doing that is allowing this predator? Because, I mean, let's be realistic, narcissistic people, they're predators. What am I doing that's allowing this predator to, to maneuver, to manipulate the whole dynamic? Okay, and I'm not blaming you for their actions, not blaming you for that. But in order for them to properly and effectively perform those actions, they have to know something about you, a deep rooted wound about you to be able to say, I can manipulate this person to conform to what I want them to be. Because sometimes they try that on people and it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. You have people that say, no, go screw yourself. I'm out. But for those who have stayed in very long relationships with these people, there was something there. Okay. Maybe you guys got into an argument and, they threatened to leave and you said, no, no, no. And you ended up giving in, right? That was showing them that you were scared of them walking away. You were scared of them abandoning the relationship or just leaving you behind right there in that moment. So these are things that I tell people to, really look into. Again, I don't blame people for why other people act the way they do, but they won't be able to effectively act the way they do if you if you are able to withhold that type of that type of, what's the word for it, that type of cue. I'm gonna call it a cue. Sometimes your actions will cue them. It'll cue them to do certain things, and that's why they play on your fears. They play on your fear of abandonment. They play on the idea, because it's an idea, guys. Okay, it's all a core belief. They play on the idea that you're desperate for love, that you're desperate for validation and affection and attention. And the reality of it is that it's not you who is desperate for that. If you suffered codependency, if you suffered abandonment issues, if you suffered rejection issues, it's your inner child that really lives with that fear. That inner child was the child that you put in the back of your head, right? Yeah, Ultimate Queen. He told me he had women around the world that he could go to. That's triangulation. That's like a way to make you jealous and make you fear losing him so you will try harder to seek his approval. And let me tell you something, guys. You know, I'm not one to knock people. I'm not one to sit there and really like insult people. But do any of you notice how these people ain't about shit? They ain't worth a damn thing, and they're sitting there making themselves look like, oh yeah, I'm a huge pile of gold on a on a diamond encrusted platter. Like, wait, what? 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 Are you serious right now? Is that what you think? Okay, yeah, you keep telling yourself that. You keep telling yourself that. Yes, super critical. Please tell me, Nisha, please tell me, why am I blaming myself? Chances are the reason you're blaming yourself is because a lot of the blame was deflected onto you. Okay. So if in your relationship they were doing certain things and they were, let's say, for example, they were, giving you the silent, they were ignoring you, they were giving you the silent treatment, or they were, you know, they were sitting there like with better example, they're giving you a nasty attitude, right? They're giving you an extremely nasty attitude, and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, why are you talking to me this way? Why are you acting this way? What's going on? And they end up telling you, oh, well, I act like this towards you because you never listen to me. You never listen to what I tell you. Or if they cheated on you, well, I cheated on you because you stopped doing the things that you did when we first got together. You ever notice how whenever there is something going on, it's blamed onto you. The blame is pushed onto you. Okay. It's your fault I do what I do. It's your fault I say what I say. It's your fault I act the way I act. And because they're so damn miserable, but yet they won't admit that, they won't take accountability for any wrongdoings, no accountability. It's just easier to blame you because you're already spending your relationship, you're spending the entire time trying to please them anyway. So if you've been spending your entire relationship trying to please them, trying to, walking on eggshells, trying to keep them happy, trying to keep them from getting that nasty attitude, try to keep them from getting, that narcissistic rage, trying to keep them as happy as possible, so you are not receiving any lashings. You're not, excuse me, if you're, if you were ever in a physically abusive relationship, that you're not receiving any type of physical abuse. You're basically trying to just keep everything on an even keel, keep it steady. And even if they have a bad day and it had nothing to do with you, because it's so much easier to make you their punching bag, because you're already doing so much to satisfy them. And I'll tell you right now, there is no satisfying a person who is an internal void. They will never be satisfied. It's a lot easier to blame you. It's easier to put the blame onto you, make you feel like crap. They feel like crap, so they're gonna make you feel like crap. You could be having a great day. You could wake up, have your cup of coffee, be out there having a beautiful day. And if their day is a shitty day, they're gonna make sure that your day is a shitty day. And then when you turn into the shitty person, you have the shitty attitude, you have the whatever face, and you just, because now you're all gloomy and you have all of the negative energy surrounding you. That makes them happy. It brings them up. And now you have the shitty attitude. And then what happens? What's your problem? Why you got an attitude? Why this? Why, you understand? It's a no-win situation with these people. A no-win situation with these people. You see? See what I'm saying? Is there such thing as a Christian narcissist? Yes, there is. It's called a spiritual narcissist. And that's a fake Christian. I'm a believer in God. I'm a believer in Christ. Do I go to church? No, I don't. Am I a saint? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to heaven. I really don't know where I'm going, to be honest. I really don't know where I'm going. I could only hope I'm going to heaven. But spiritual narcissists they utilize religion to control people. They use the Bible or whatever the religion is to control people. A lot of them, go to church and, temples, wherever it is they go, and they try to take over things for the sole purpose of gaining supply. Okay, they try to alienate people. They try to dictate certain things, and this is all within the church, all while they're manipulating within the church, all while when they go out there in the world, they're literally posing as spiritual people of God. I'm spiritual. Like, a spiritual narcissist would be the type of person that will put up 100 quotes about God and spirituality, and I'm a Christian and I believe in Christ and all, and they will shame people covertly. They will shame them covertly and do all types of ungodly things in their own time. Okay? The Jezebel spirit is a very, very serious and a very real spirit, and it's the kind of spirit that attaches itself to people. And for those who go to church and those who are narcissists that do go to church, that church is that church is in for a very, very rude awakening, because the people or the person who enter the church with this spirit, they're meant to, it's basically like infiltrating. So it's trying to infiltrate God's people, inside out. But these people they are no better. I don't even know if they're worse than other types of narcs, but those are usually the ones that, like, if you know them personally, you know what kind of person they are, but they sit there talking about, I'm going to church on Friday, I'm going to service on Sunday, praise the Lord, but they're sitting there bullying people, they're sitting there, undercutting people, undermining people. Those are known as spiritual narcissists. I agree. Holly says someone should be able to discern at church. I agree completely. I agree completely. And unfortunately, this is why God says test the spirits. You have to test the spirits. Okay? You have to pay attention to certain things, because they will walk with with a halo over their head. Little do we know it's a halo made of aluminum reflecting off the light of the sun. So you think it's, they're God's people, but the reality is these are people that the devil uses to infiltrate God's people. BBQ, how do you know so much? Oh, I made it my business to learn. I made it my business to learn when I went through my emotions, after I went through my emotions, and God pretty much prepared me, and just, this is something that I saw what I went through, and then I see that other people are going through it, and I'm like, what? Nah, 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 we can't do this. We can't do this. This can't be like this. So I just started studying. I used my post discard time. I used it to, of course, heal, but I used it to study. I studied. I became closer to God, and I just studied and studied and studied. And that's all I kept doing. I kept researching. I kept studying. I went to therapy. I learned about my own issues. I incorporated that into it because a lot of people, resonate with my story. And I'm still studying to this very day, guys. To this very day, any little thing I can learn, any new thing I can learn, anything that I can help, use to help explain it more easily and help give you guys, just a better examples and better ways to understand this. I'm still doing it. I'm not. This is team no sleep. Team no sleep. Okay, my best friend has to tell me to go to bed because I'm. Sometimes she has to tell me. She tells me to take a break. I can't. I can't. I just can't. I can't take a break. I have to continue. I have to keep going, and I'll sleep when I'm dead. That's the way I see it. Absolutely. Thalia from Spain, welcome. But let me see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I see so many people. Lorena, yeah, keep studying. Keep, looking into different things. And guys, be multifaceted. I learned being multifaceted is awesome. Okay? Being multifaceted is awesome. Meaning that you can learn different things. You can learn different, if you want to study psychology, study psychology. If you want to study, criminology, study that. If you want to study anything, but you don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself to the things that you learn. Don't limit yourself to the things that you can do. And I tell people all the time, when it comes to your healing, don't limit yourself. Okay, the sky is not the limit. You can do anything you want to do as long as it makes you happy, as long as it's not hurting anyone else. Don't limit yourself to anything. Okay, you have people in your lives that try to limit you, if not even try to limit you, but try to make you feel so insignificant that you didn't have a place in this world. You didn't have a place, or, any type of say so, or any type of voice. Raise your voices, raise your voices, raise your glasses, raise your paintbrushes, or raise your spatulas if you're cooks, whatever you want to do it. Do it. Do all the things that you never thought you could do because you were too busy being focused on why someone who doesn't even know how to love themselves, who doesn't know how to properly love themselves, why they couldn't love you. And I want to explain something to people who are just joining. If you're just going through a discard, it bears repeating. Listen to me carefully, please. These people, someone who doesn't know how to love themselves, someone who doesn't know how to fulfill themselves, who doesn't know how to emotionally excuse me, sustain themselves, it's not going to happen for the next person. And if you really think about it, and even if some of you are still looking at their social media or looking at certain things, look at everything that they're doing. Look at what they're doing. Doesn't it look familiar? Does it not look familiar to you? What they're doing with them, the things they're saying about them, the things that they're doing with the next person or the new supplier, what have you. They did the same thing with you. It's a pattern. That's all it is. It's patterns. It's not they're in love with someone else. It's not, oh my gosh, this person doesn't love me. So, okay. that means that I'm unlovable? Hell no. Hell no, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you gave a lot in your relationships. I'm sure a lot of you did a lot in your relationships. A lot of you did a lot of wifely duties and they didn't even put a ring on your finger. Okay? A lot of you did a lot of husband duties and and the minute you don't text them before the end of the night, they're already, riding the next dude. Let's be honest, these are not the kind of people who can sustain relationships with other people. And if they do, it's based on manipulation, it's based on gaslight, it's based on lies. That's all it is. That's why they follow you guys around. That's why they watch you, they monitor you, because they know what you're capable of and they know what you can have. They know what you can get. That's why they can't risk losing you. Um, Lorena, you want to know something interesting? Because I'm so caught up with, after the pandemic, I actually started working again. And I'm still keeping my studies in psychology. I'm still keeping my studies in psychology, but I honestly I don't know if people tell me I should become a therapist. They're like, you should be a therapist, and I would do that, but I'm too damn opinionated, man. I really am, and I don't know if therapists can really do that. Like, maybe they can, or maybe they have to kind of keep it to a minimum. Like, and I'm just too damn opinionated because if someone comes into my office and they're actually a narcissist, I don't even want to say what I think I would do. I really, I really don't want to say what I think I would do. But I'm still kind of figuring it out. In the meantime, I'm just continuing the learning process, and I'm gonna continue, helping people the best way I can. But if I don't know if yeah, Nessie, yeah, it's just a way to come together. Oh, thank you for that, sweetheart. Thank you. It's a way to come together and just be a support system for one another and just talk to each other. And you get to meet a lot of really cool people. You guys are really, really great. I had a therapist tell me once, I don't think you want to do the effing work and it's okay. Woke me up. And there you go. Oh, so listen, if I can use the F word, if you're telling me I can use the F word, then I might look into it. Holly, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, Lorena, yeah. And let me tell you guys something, because I have people tell me, oh, I want to get to where you are. I want to be at that stage where you feel completely indifferent. And you think you would never get there. You think you would never feel that way. But oh man, God is amazing, because each and every time when I thought about, I want to reach out to the person, when I thought about, I feel, because you can feel them, you can still feel them, they're in your energy, you can still feel them around you. Sometimes some of you may get dreams or may get different signs or different things like distracting you. And I had plenty of times, and don't I'm not gonna lie to you, in the beginning, yeah, I kind of failed, and I messaged the person and reached out to them, and each and every time I did that, I was reminded why I shouldn't do it. But you get to a point that it's like, yeah, yeah, Suli, it's you got to be careful. Be very, very careful, because if you are associated with people that they know, or if you have, let's say you have friends, relatives, or whomever, if you have them in, like, say, your phone book or what have you, if you open up social media, if you let's just say you forgot to remove their numbers from your phone, or people they're associated with, even if you change your number, when you open up social media accounts, it's gonna, like, maybe suggest these people if they have the social media as well. Be very careful with that. I had gotten notifications, and I forgot that I had these numbers in my phone. Like, I was so caught up in my healing, I completely forgot that I had certain people's numbers in my phone. So when I reactivated my social media account, their accounts were popping up like, "Oh, friends you may know," and I'm like, "Hell, fucking, I don't know none of these people." I'm canceling everything out. I'm like, nope, nope, block, 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 block. I'm just blocking everybody, because that can really trigger you too. So be very, very careful with it. Give me 1 second. Strong. Did everyone leave you when you level up? I left them. I left them. I don't give nobody a chance to leave me anymore. I left everybody and everything toxic behind me. Everybody and everything toxic behind me. I don't if people want to get to my level, if people want to get on my in my energy, they're going to have to bring themselves up to me because I'm not bringing myself down for none of them. None of them. I don't care. I'm not bringing myself down for anyone. And at the end of the day, that's what happens when you evolve. When you evolve, you actually you actually, believe it or not, you leave people behind. They don't really leave you, because now what you're doing is, as you're evolving, okay, now these people are no longer on your, you're not vibrating on the same level anymore. You're starting to see toxicity. You're starting to see everything clearly. You're seeing traits. You're seeing how everything is. And you're saying to yourself, nope, got to get rid of this. And you walk out and you leave them behind. So when they look at you like, oh, you think you're better than us? You swear this and this. Well, let's see. I'm up here and you're down here. You're still down here doing the same lame shit. I am up here making a difference. I'm up here evolving and doing what I need to do. And you're still down here doing the same BS that you have been doing all this time. Yeah. Yeah. For once, I can say I am better than you. I am better than you. And I say it with confidence. I am better than you. Now, if you bring your ass up here, and to get from here to go up here, guys, you got to remember something. You had to go through a transformation to get up here. Okay. You had to go through a lot of shit to get up here, which took determination, willpower. It took pain. It took tears. It took everything to get up here. These people are going to have to do the same thing. You think they're going to do it? Do you think they're going to do it? Do you think they're going to actually do the work to get up to where you are? No. That's why they stay down here and they just go scrambling around for other people that are down here. Leave them there. Leave them there. They're not worth it. They're not worth your time, your effort, nothing. You work so hard on yourself and you to bring yourself back down? Nah, no, listen. Listen. No. Leave them where they are and let them just scramble for the other people that are on their level. Because now you're up here. You're going to be doing bigger and better things, guys. Trust me on it. Trust me on it. And guys, I just wanted to talk about a few things. I made a couple of notes about things because remember what I told you guys. We all suffered traumas. We all suffered certain types of wounds. And, it happens. It happens. And it's not something that you can prevent. It's not something that you can avoid. And it's not something that you should blame yourself with either. Okay. Like, for example, I want to just go over a few things, and I actually wanted to go over a couple of the different types of narcissists because I have another video that I'm going to upload in regards to the somatic narcissist. But, one of the things that I wanted you to understand, the types of wounds that you may suffer, okay, or you may have suffered. Maybe you're working through them, okay? But one of the wounds is a rejection wound. Okay, and a rejection wound is a wound that was instilled inside of you since early, and by early I mean young children. Now understand something. Rejection wound is within codependence and also narcissists. Okay? Narcissists suffer rejection wounds as well. All right? And again, we don't make excuses for their behaviors, but I do have to give you the components of it. Okay? And a rejection wound is pretty much, it's where someone feels like they're not good enough. Just think about it. If your own parents, and it's okay to, it's this is a safe space, all right, guys? If your own parents rejected you as a child, if your own parents, rejected you emotionally, psychologically, in some cases physically, because you have parents who abandon their kids, that instills a rejection wound within the child. And the child feels like they're not good enough. So what do? Everything we take as children, we take it on into our adult lives, and we take it into our relationships. The rejection wound, okay, within a narcissist is probably the reason why a lot of them may not come back to hoover you because they're afraid you may reject them. Okay, that's their rejection wound because they've already been rejected as kids. They've been rejected throughout their lives because they know their behaviors. They know that their behaviors are sabotaging behaviors. So when they've discarded you, primarily it could be because either A, You're seeing through their tactics, their attempts, their BS, and you are, displaying certain things to them that leads them to believe that you're going to reject them, which, means pretty much that you're going to dump them. You're going to break up with them. And because they can't have you rejecting them, because, how dare you reject me? I spent all this time, showing you how important I am. And I spent all this time conforming you to my wants. If you hit that rejection wound in a narcissist, that can trigger narcissistic rage. Now, the difference between them and you is that your rejection wound is simply that it's a wound that was inflicted on you as a child. And even though you're an empathetic person, you try to sustain relationships, you're not a narcissist. When they discard you, you're in the discard phase, your rejection wound is being triggered. And your rejection wound is pretty much trying to grab onto them for dear life, trying to hold on to them because of those fears. You know, fear of abandonment. We've all had issues. We've all had issues with it. Another sign as far as a rejection wound is concerned is you're extremely guarded. You become extremely guarded throughout your life. So if you went into relationships, with a very high guard because, and listen, it doesn't have to be from your parents, guys. It could be from narcissistically abusive relationships. Okay. These are just wounds that have been inflicted on you. So when you start to let's say you think you're healed, you want to get into a new relationship, or, you're not sure, but you don't really, you're like, oh yeah, some time went by and, when you go into a new relationship or a new dynamic, you are extremely guarded, which means you're holding on to dear life with, onto your guard because of the wound that you've had inflicted on you. You don't trust people. You have trust issues. And these are the things that narcissists also, this is all within narcissists too, guys, but I'm talking about you, okay? You become extremely guarded. You don't trust people. And then what happens? When you enter relationships, this is also probably the reason why, and I'm going to tell you, why some people may find themselves to feel like they may be the narcissist and they're not sure. Because people who've been inflicted with these wounds, narcissists have been inflicted with these wounds, but so have codependent people. And sometimes people who are codependent, they say, oh my God, am I the narcissist? Because the traumas are the same. The traumas are the same for both people. Only a codependent is the caregiver. The narcissist is the caretaker. They take. They just take and take and take. The codependent just gives and gives and gives. Okay? So please be mindful of that. So if you're driving yourself crazy thinking you're a narcissist and you're really, maybe codependent, or you're just, just one of those people who've been in really abusive relationships and you're just scared, don't blame yourself for anything that has nothing to do with you. Okay? You also find compromising to be difficult. Okay? Compromising is very difficult. So if you found yourself to be, when you suffered a rejection wound, you become, and a lot of narcissists do this, they become self-sufficient. So they're pretty much like, okay, my parents aren't going to do it for me. I got to do it for myself. This is why their compromising is so difficult, because they're like, I have no expectations. I already know I'm going to fail you because I'm already messed up as it is. So I'm going to give you a little breadcrumbs. This is why they give you breadcrumbs, guys. They don't compromise with you. They just give you little breadcrumbs. Okay? They give you the idea, or they kind of put the idea in your head. I'm compromising with you by giving you these breadcrumbs. Okay? They started giving you a whole loaf of bread, then it goes down. Did you guys see that TikTok video? I saw a TikTok video. She made a very good point. They give you a whole loaf of bread in the beginning, then they start to give you by slices, and then they start to give you little pieces. Okay? And you get into relationships, for anyone who's non-narcissistic, you find compromising to be hard to do, because it's like, I tried before, and look at where it got me. I'm not doing it again. That's your mindset. That's your mindset. I tried it before. I got nowhere with it. This person or these people gave me a reason not to trust them. Look at where it got me. And now I'm not doing it again. And you find yourself not compromising for other people. Okay. Another sign of a rejection wound is, which is something we probably a lot of us have in common, people pleasing habits. You constantly want to, you want to go an extra mile to be noticed in a positive light. So you overextend yourself. You keep giving more than, than what you should. Okay, because you are trying to seek the approval of other people, which we've been there. I've been there plenty of times. Okay, and people pleasing, this is pretty much when children are trying to seek the approval of their parents. Okay, the approval or the love of their parents. So they try to be like the helper or the caregiver. It's not like you're trying to suck up to your parents, but you're trying to earn their love. If you notice, and a lot of you, if you come from codependent backgrounds, you were doing that in your relationship with a narcissist. You were trying to earn their love. You were trying to earn their love. So you were giving more, and you saw that you gave, you were only supposed to give them, let's say, 5 ounces, but you gave them 10 ounces. You know, you're showing them, hey, listen, I was only supposed to give you 5, but I'm giving you 10 ounces. You basically, in return, hope that, they would give you some kind of reward for that, or they would notice that. They would notice what you were doing, because in a narcissistically abusive relationship, it's a transactional relationship. It's not an unconditional relationship. Okay? It was unconditional on your end, but it was not unconditional on theirs. Their relationships come with conditions. It's always with conditions. Okay? They do nice things for you. There's a condition behind that. All right? I'm doing this for you now because, one, I need you to get it into your head that I'm a good person. I'm a generous person. I'm a nice person. I'm a provider or what have you. And two, when the time comes, you're going to repay me for doing this for you. You're going to repay me for this. And it could be your family, it could be your relationships, guys. You're going to repay me for doing this for you. Often, a lot of them actually will, either do these nice deeds in front of people so people can bear witness. They can see all of the good things that they do for you. Okay? Or if push comes to shove and you got them backed up in a corner, or if you're asking them questions, or if you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, that this doesn't look right, or what you're doing doesn't, this doesn't, I can't rock with this, they will throw it in your face. They will throw it in your face. Or if you tell them, like for example, during a discard, but how could you, after everything I've done, like everything I've contributed to this relationship? Oh, and what about me? What about me? I contributed. I gave you this. I bought you that. I did this. And they'll just start spitting stuff at you. They try to justify their behaviors by things that they've done prior, and thinking that, well, my good deeds should be enough to justify why I'm doing bad deeds now. This is why I told you, when they treat you nice one day, they're not going to treat you equally bad. For every time they treat you nice, they're going to treat you worse afterwards. Because the mere fact that they had to do something out of themselves nice for someone else, it's just like, it's cringing for them. I never even knew people like this could really exist. Like, it's so bad that you can't even do something nice out of the goodness of your heart, that you're only doing it because you're afraid of criticism. You're afraid of what other people are going to say. You're afraid of, ay, la boricua mexicana. Oh my God, I'm trying. I said her name right. I said her name right. Hi, Angela. You know what's interesting? I get that a lot. People ask me, were you a fly on the wall? Were you there when this was happening? It goes to show that I kid you not, guys. I know what the feeling is like. Emerald, he turned it around. He turned it all around and said he thought I was cheating, which is why he was cheating. A deep like, yes, yes. Their thing is, I can't afford I can't afford for you to bruise my ego. I can't afford for you to, it's not even hurt me because they don't feel like the kind of pain we feel is not the same for them. We feel emotional pain, okay? We feel emotional pain. Their pain, their pain is pretty much a shot to their ego. Their ego, okay? First of all, remember what I told you. Vulnerable types of narcissists, those are the types that have already been put down since they were young. They've been abandoned emotionally, they've been abandoned psychologically, mentally, and they've been, in some cases abandoned physically. But if they've been in dynamics where, they had a tyrant in the house, more than likely they were abused verbally, they were abused probably physically. So they had already had their identity stripped from them. They had already had everything pretty much taken away from them. So those are the kind of people that walk the world like, yo, I have nothing more to lose. I have nothing else to lose. You can't take anything more away from me because I've already had people in my life take it away from me. But because they can't let people on the external know that that's what they went through and that's what they feel about themselves in that aspect, they're not going to just flat out say, oh, I hate myself. Oh, I loathe myself because, I was projected on negatively as a child. What they'll do is they will basically internalize it, they'll lock it up, and they'll just give this impression of it's more about getting what I want out of a situation. I don't care who I hurt. I'll just get what I want out of the situation. And if I dump you, if I discard you, it 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 fuels their ego because with their low self-esteem is so high. So discarding someone, rejecting someone before they get rejected will bring that down. So your low self-esteem will pretty much raise their self-esteem. You see how sickening that is? But if your self-esteem is up, their self-esteem is down here. This is how they feel about themselves. Okay? The invulnerable types, which are the opposites of these people, they come in off the bat. They come in on a pedestal. On a pedestal that probably somebody else before you put them on. So pretty much they're like, okay, I got on my pedestal from the last supply. Now they meet you. They're already up here. So you're thinking, oh, okay, cool. Okay, you up there. All right. So, I could try to get up there. And little did you know that as you're trying to raise your pedestal, but they're, again, because their supply has to be sustained in order for them to be on that fake ass pedestal that they stand on because it doesn't even belong to them. That pedestal they came in on belonged to the last person they victimized. Okay? The pedestal these people put themselves on belonged to the last victims that they were with. It didn't even belong to them. So all of the supply, the compliments, all of the admiration, the adoration, the trust, the love, the generosity, everything that people have done, these people come in on their pedestals, but these are pedestals that were built by other people. It wasn't even built by them. Because when we come in on a pedestal, that's because of our own self love, our own self validation. Think about it. You find out this person's a narcissist. You learn all about narcissism, narcissistic abuse, and people who suffer NPD. You learn that these people do not know self love. They do not know, honesty, decency, fairness. They don't know reciprocity. They don't know any of these things. How the hell did they get this high? How the hell did they get to this point? And that's because of the victims that they have gone through to get to this point. These people will always be fakes, con artists, liars, deceivers, manipulators, anything to get what they want out of a situation. Anything. Okay? Just to name a few. That's just to name a few, guys. Somatic narcissist. Okay. You got the covert and overts. So you got the ones that are very noticeable, which are the overts, and then you got the ones that are you didn't know what the hell hit you until it did. Those are the coverts. Okay? And common behaviors: love bomb, devalue, discard, repeat. Love bomb, devalue, discard, and repeat. And this, of course, is, it's done in increments and it's done in cycles. It's done in cycles. This is to keep you it's similar to, if some of you believe in it though, it's similar to having a binding spell or a soul tie or a soul contract or what have you. It's a cycle that they will, they'll continue to, as long as you continue to allow it, which makes the trauma bond thicker, harder to break free from, and deeper. Okay? So the coverts are the ones who are pretty much smiling in everyone's face. They're the sweet, humble, everybody loves them. They're a people person. They're the social butterfly in public. They're all of these good things that people see in public, but in private, they are disrespectful. They're cruel. They're demeaning. They're hurtful. Okay. They pick fights. They may point out, they may point out flaws on you, and that they know that you're insecure about certain things about yourself. So they will constantly badger you. They'll constantly, exploit your insecurities, or they'll weaponize your insecurities and use them against you. Okay. They'll probably start fights with you to, do whatever it is that they want to do. They control, very controlling people. So it's my house. I say what goes. And if you don't like it, go F yourself. And, in 1 minute they're nice to you. The next minute they're horrible, which we know, the whole trauma bomb thing. Okay. Coverts are the type that, and I've made reference of this, and a lot of people really resonate with this, where you guys could be fighting at home. They'll say the most mean and hurtful things, like to the point that it cuts you so deep to your core. It cuts you deep to your core. Okay. And literally minutes later, you can be out in public somewhere and it's, I love you. This is my boo. This is my baby. This is my honey. And, they want to take pictures and they want to, you know, go around holding your hand and having you, like if you're their trophy girlfriend or their trophy boyfriend, or, you know, anything to bring down your confidence, really, really, really destroy your confidence within yourself to conform you for them. And then in front of everybody, you guys are, the perfect couple. And I know a lot of you probably sat there like, where the hell did this person come from? This was not the same person that I dealt with when we were home. This was not the same person that was yelling, cursing me out, calling me, calling me names and putting me down and making me feel like I was less of a man or making me feel like I was less of a woman. Where did this person come from? Because I do not know who you are. And they're different around other people because they can't face criticism. But, but that will not stop them from making underhanded jokes about you or trying to parade their authority in front of people. That won't stop them. They will sit there and, probably tell secretive things or things that you've shared in confidence with them. They may not just flat out say, "Oh, well, Tom told me X, Y, and Z." No, they'll create a story and, clearly put you in your situation in it, all while masking it with, what would this person, example, what would this person do without me if I couldn't help them with this situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that. Okay. Things like that. The overts are a little bit more noticeable. You can tell when someone's overtly narcissistic in showing their true colors, showing their vanity, showing their need for the spotlight, showing how they can be a mean girl or a mean guy, showing that, I'll say and do what I want and people bow down to me. I'm the queen bee, and I'm the man of the, that's those are the overt types. They know that they're bitches and they know that they're jerks, and they don't care. They don't care who knows. A lot of them could be very loud, obnoxious type of people where they really like slam the book down on their authority. I run this. This is mine. I run all of this, and there's nothing anybody can say or do about it. Now, the types that you probably are familiar with, that some of you probably dealt with, and I'm sure a lot of you, when I mention these, you're probably going to be like, yep, that one was it. The first one, we're going to start from the lower part. And the first one is the somatic narcissist. The somatic narcissist is more the superficial narcissist, all right? They're the kinds that are only concerned about appearances, physical appearances, how they look, how people make them look, okay? They have to be, if you guys are a couple, you guys have to look good for everybody on the outskirts. You have to give the world a show, all right? They're probably the kinds that are always constantly taking pictures. So if you guys are in relationships or were in relationships that you guys were maybe going on vacation or whatever the case may be, they always wanted to pull their phone out to take a picture and, oh, I got to see. Those are the kind of people that you'll see on their social media, like freaking, thousands of pictures, all over the place, and not knocking people who take pictures, but, I'm calling a spade a spade. Those are the gold digger type of narcissists. So those are the type of narcs that go for people who maybe have status, money, okay, some sort of fame or popularity, or any type of person who can help them get up either in the corporate ladder or help them, like raise up their own status. They're hypersexual. Okay, I know a lot of you are familiar with that. They're hypersexual, and hypersexual meaning that, one, they use their bodies to get what they want. Okay, they'll use their bodies for attention, again, for fame, you know, anything that'll put them in the spotlight. Okay, with that same breath, they'll sleep with anything with two legs. Okay, meaning that they will cheat. Yes, somatic narcissists are known to be extreme cheaters, sexual cheaters. They will cheat on you. They will either cheat on you with someone you know, okay, which is something that they can hold over your head. They can cheat on you with someone you know. They can cheat on, ladies, if you had a female somatic friend, she could end up, trying to sleep with your boyfriend, or, fellas, you know, he or she, if they're a friend or if they're your girlfriend, they could sleep with somebody that you know. And this is primarily because, one, they're big thrill seekers. They're very, like, they don't have any regard. So it's the thrill of doing the action. But two, it's knowing that at some point they're going to discard you regardless. So what better way than to hurt you by sleeping with someone that you know? Knowing that the possibility of that getting to you is great. It doesn't matter. They have no regard. Absolutely no regard. Okay. And they're extremely vain. So they always have to have the trending styles. They always have to have, the new Gucci bag, or the new, Prada shoes, or it always has to be something in style. They live beyond their means. So these are the kind of people that will go into serious debt to live beyond their means. The kind of people that live a lifestyle just to show other people the luxurious lifestyle. You ever seen these kind of females that go on those like expensive trips, like cruises and stuff, or you constantly see them traveling around, and sometimes you kind of wonder, wait a minute, you work at Wendy's and you over here going to Paris and here and there and all that or whatever. Where's all this money coming from? That's probably because they're doing the whole gold digging thing, and they're conning people out of their money to pay for these trips and to take care of all of this. Okay. Yes. Constantly seeking validation, admiration, adoration. They want to be in the spotlight. They want to be famous. They want to have, that status, and they will go for anyone or, anything in order to obtain it. Very, very superficial people. Then you have the cerebral narcissist. And the cerebral narcs are more the psychological narcs, okay? They're the brainiacs. They're the ones who are very smug. They're smug about their accomplishments in life. Okay? They're smug about their, I went to Harvard and I went to Yale and I went to, whatever top elite schools there are. These are the kind of people that brag about their accomplishments, and they use that as a way to impress people. Okay? These are intellectual people. They are intellectual people, guys. All right? So I'm not saying that they're dumb, because they're not. But they are the type of people that will f- with your mind. They'll f- with your head on a very extreme mental. These are the kind of narcissists that are not hypersexual, which means they will cheat on you. Yeah, they will cheat on you, but it won't be for sexual reasons. It'll just be solely for the source of supply. They want supply. That's all it is. And just like any other narcissist, they want the admiration, the attention, the adoration. They want your full focus. They want you on them. But as far as the sleeping around, don't get me wrong. Some of them do. Okay, I'm not going to say all of them. A lot of them actually prefer self gratification over sleeping with other people. Okay, they prefer self gratification. So if you find them to, a lot of them are addicted to, porn, or anything to get themselves off. That's what they're more. That's what they're more involved with. A lot of, and bear in mind, guys, narcissists, because a lot of them, they suffer these dysfunctions. A lot of them suffer other physiological dysfunctions. So my guess would be that is, and again, I'm just throwing this out there, but cerebral narcissists, if they're more within having, their own gratification, their own sexual gratification, it's probably because they're having dysfunctions in other departments. So it's pretty much, why face the fear of, why face my biggest fear of rejection by sleeping around when I could just easily mess with people's heads and gain supply and attention somewhere else and just get myself off when I want to, you know, because they will use sex as a weapon. So, not to say they won't sleep with you, but if they do, it's on their time, when they want to, how they want to do it. And if they want you to wait, you're going to wait. And if they want you to, give it to them, you're going to give it to them. It's all about what they want. Okay. They use the use of language, they use big words. They like to use big words to make their target feel, and I'm just going to say this for lack of a better word, dumb. So if you're dealing with the type that's constantly using like the vocabulary, like really big vocabulary. Okay, listen, we're not dumb, guys. Okay, a lot of us are very smart, a lot of us are very intelligent. But let's face facts. Okay, if I go into a medical office, I'm not going to understand a damn thing that person says. I want layman's terms, right? But they use really big words to try to make others feel inadequate oh, see, almost knocked it over. Inadequate in that aspect. So they'll use the use of the English language to really try to make you feel dumb. And if they have conversations with you, or if you have conversations with them, they take over your conversations. The conversations go right back to them. So they can start with you, they can ask you a question, and you can begin explaining yourself. You can begin flowing with the conversation. They will constantly interrupt you. They will constantly criticize you. If you're having a debate or if you're having a discussion, you will not have a word in edgewise. Arguing with them will not make any sense, because in the end, all you're going to find yourself is frustrated by the end of that conversation. So thinking that you will win that, not with a cerebral narcissist. Okay. And they pretty much do this to, again, undermine your confidence. They do it to undermine your confidence in just being in an intellectual conversation with someone. You can have an intellectual conversation with them, well, with a person who has very high intellect, and not feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to feel, but the way they talk to people, the way they are, and the way they direct, because that conversation is being directed by them, they will make their targets feel like, damn, like shit, you know? So, and just understand that if you criticize them during these conversations, or if you say something that negates what they say, what their opinion is, They have a tongue of steel. And by a tongue of steel, I mean they can either use their mouth to, I wouldn't even say like an overt narcissist where they can get loud and rah rah and all that stuff. They will literally probably try to shut you down by speaking from a very condescending, cold, and demeaning place. So they can demean you, they can devalue you, they can undermine your confidence just with the use of words, especially if spoken in certain tones and in certain manners. Okay? They can definitely, and as far as just like I just saw deflect, yes. They can definitely, when you're having conversations with them, especially if you're trying to like gain if you're trying to gain clarity, or you're trying to, they're very, very good at deflection. They know how to deflect. They know how to deflect, and they know cerebral narcissists are actually, I would say, I always categorize them as the worst because it's the use of the mind. It's more the use of the mind. When you have intelligence lined up with manipulation, you could have other narcissists that aren't really intelligent, but they're just kind of, they're good at manipulating situations, but eventually it's like, okay, they can fall flat on their ass. Cerebral narcs are pretty much more like precise, meticulous, you know. They're probably even more demeaning, more hurtful. They're probably the worst types to deal with, especially the covert ones. They're the worst types to deal with. You know who I picture as being a cerebral narc, or I mean, clearly he was a psychopath, but the best description I could probably give is Christian Bale in American Psycho. That's probably where he can just say something or make you, feel. Well, no, who else? There was somebody else. There was a character that I remember. I think in a movie. If I remember him, I'll bring it up. But he could just use words to make you feel so small and make you feel like just an utter piece of crap just by using words, man. They don't have to use their hands. They don't have to do anything just by using words. When you have someone who can get into your mind and really screw with you psychologically, that's probably the worst kind of person. I would assume that cerebral narcissists probably get into the profession. Like really get into the profession of psychology. And then you have the malignant, which is also known as the toxic narcissist. Okay. Now, the malignant narcissist is pretty much like all of these, other narcissists tied into one. They're more bordering like sociopaths, going up in the scale. And the malignant narcissists, they're the sadistic types. Okay. They torment their targets. They will torment their targets. They feed off of your suffering. They feed off of your suffering. And they're the type of people that will pretty much make your life a living hell. They will make you miserable, and they will see to it that each and every time they succeed in making you miserable, especially if you haven't found a way to get out of the situation. Malignant narcissists, toxic narcissists, the female ones are the worst. I'm going to tell you that right now. The female ones are the worst because they are the ones who can stand there crocodile tears crying a storm like if their puppy just died, and all the while their hands are under the table ordering a hit on you. Okay? They are the worst. So understand that these types are very, very extreme when it comes to revenge. So if you've rejected them, if you have, inflicted any kind of narcissistic injury onto them, they will not rest. They will not stop until they have made you pay for whatever pain you have inflicted on them. Okay? They're very, very devious people. They're very, very vengeful. They're very revengeful. And they will not stop until they have seen you suffer beyond recognition, that you actually tap out. Which means tormenting your life can be harassing you, having other people harassing you, okay? Monitoring you, watching your house, stalking you, all right? You go into your job trying to get you to lose your job. If you have the malignant female narcissist that will cry rape in a situation that it never even happened, like we're talking severely demented people. These people are very deluded people. Okay. They go to extremes for revenge. Your smear campaign, listen, malignant narcissists know how to really, they know how to conjure up a smear campaign. Okay. When it comes to trying to discredit people and it comes to trying to like really hit them where it hurts, they will run that smear campaign. Okay. They like to break up relationships, whether it be your friendships, it be your family, it be your own relationships. Malignant narcissists are not opposed to being the other man or the other woman. They will they will do whatever it takes if they want, especially if they want something. Okay? If you have what they want, they're going to go for it. All right? And this is not just for people who've suffered narcissistic abuse, but this is also for people who are dealing with people who have suffered narcissistic abuse. Okay? So if you have new relationships, and you're trying to move on with someone else and you're trying to be happy and you have a malignant narcissistic ex, they will try to do whatever it takes to break up your new relationship. And don't fall asleep on the whole black magic shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, they will stoop that low. They will stoop that low. Okay. And if all of you, and for those of you who are familiar with, black magic and witchcraft and all that stuff, trust and believe, they will stoop that low to get what they can from you. Um, Green Eyes Hernandez, yes, I do. You'd have to send me an email. I have a few people who have already scheduled, but um, you can send me an email. Amanda's gonna put the email up there for you guys. So if anybody wants to, inquire about a one-on-one or inquire about the group meetings, Skype group meetings, please send me an email and I'll be able to work that out with you. Um, but back to it, yeah, malignant narcissists, they love to triangulate. They love to cause problems by utilizing third parties. So they love to try to pin, maybe pin your family against you, your friends, or what have you, creating all these false allegations, fabrications, what have you. They'll basically put up like a whole play and try to make you the fall guy of the entire situation. Okay, they can be abusive towards their children. Children are no exception to the rules. They're no exception to the rules, guys. Okay, pretty much be very destructive towards anyone in their way. Anyone in their way. And I mean, aside from the obvious, they're pathological liars and they're extreme charmers. They'll charm you in the beginning, but again, their true nature will come to surface. The only difference between this type of narcissist and a somatic narcissists are just the superficial ones. Like they can cause damage, but not severely as much damage as a malignant, aka toxic narcissist. Strong 377. You can send me an email. I'm working on April's calendar, and we do the Skype group meetings. And if you decide to join, guys, trust me, you'll have an awesome time because the people there are really really awesome. They're really cool. And then, guys, you have the inverted narcissist. The inverted narcissists are codependent, covert narcissists. Okay. These are the type of narcissists that are codependents who seek to sustain relationships with other narcissists. So they have the traits of a narcissist, okay? They have the traits of a narcissist, and they pretty much are codependent on those who are narcissists. It sounds crazy to say it, but it's pretty much kind of like a dynamic duo, kind of like, if you have a narcissistic mother and her child's a narcissist, but they're also codependent. So it's like that unhealthy attachment between one narcissist and another. And even so, if the inverted narcissist is discarded by another narcissist, it's pretty much like a regular breakup for them. Here's the crazy thing. It's a regular breakup. They don't suffer PTSD. They don't suffer they don't even suffer the rejection, like the wound, rejection wound like that. But if you, a non narcissist, okay, if you reject them, that's inflicting narcissistic injury because you got to look at it this way, guys. Your level, and their level are two different places. So, and it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but I've actually come to understand why you have some narcissists who end up with people that are just as toxic as them. Granted, it doesn't last very long. Okay, those kind of relationships don't last very long because two narcissists in the same relationship, that's like a volcano waiting to erupt. You have two people who want control, two people who are abusive, and two people. It's just pretty much taking fuel, taking a lit match, and just putting it together. It's gonna blow up eventually. The inverted narcissist might be more of on a rarity side, a little bit more rare, but you have those that are dependent on other narcissists. Cinderella therapist called me codependent. Yeah, I had the same thing. I had the same thing. I have anxious preoccupied attachment style. Well, I had it because I overcame my codependency, but it's very common. Codependency is very common in a lot of people, and you can, yeah, strong 377, they can. You tend to internalize and pick up. You could pick up habits of these people as well. As well. But sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. My battery. Don't let that discourage you. If any of you are diagnosed, well, technically, the DSM is not really classifying codependency, but we all know what it is. And if you have been, if you are codependent or if you're working on the codependency issues, I mean, continue working on it. Don't let it dissuade you or discourage you or have you thinking that there's something like, severely wrong with you. Believe it or not, a lot of people suffer codependency. Um, Macy Licious, mine has drained my energy. Yeah, that's what they do. They're known to drain energy. They're known to be energy vampires, and it's just not. It's the more you go further into your healing, and the more you stay no contact, guys. If you're in no contact, please continue to stay no contact. Okay, continue to stay no contact. Don't break your rule. Don't break your boundaries. Don't break your back. All right, because often when they try to attempt things to make you break no contact, it's simply just to see if you would do it. If they try to come back into your life, it's not because they want you back in their lives or they realize the errors of their ways or that they love you or that they want to do right by you, they want to treat you better. No, it's simply because they want to see if you would do it for them, if you would break it. Okay? And I just wanted to kind of go one more thing, guys. I wanted to kind of go over this, and I'm gonna make videos, like actual videos for the YouTube. I'm gonna try to see if I could do it for TikTok as well. But one of the things I wanted to mention was the betrayal bond. I mean, the betrayal wound. A lot of you suffer a betrayal wound. Okay, we've all actually suffered a betrayal wound, and let me see something here. So basically, it's a specific type of trauma that happens in key social relationships where the betrayed person needs to maintain a relationship with the betrayer for support or protection. So, for a lot of you who've been in narcissistically, domestically abusive relationships and found it hard to leave, or found it, that impossible to leave for certain reasons, you more than likely have what's called a betrayal wound or betrayal trauma. This is where you survive you literally depend on, or you need the person who committed the betrayal in your life for the sake of that you depend on them. Okay? So let me just double check. Let me just go right back here for a second. And a lot of they have the examples of a betrayal wound is childhood physical, emotional, and sexual abuse perpetrated by a caregiver. So this is basically a betrayal that has been inflicted onto you by someone who was supposed to be your caregiver, maybe your spouse, maybe your best friend. It could be anyone, but this was someone who you trusted, someone who was in your life that you thought you could truly, truly trust. But the wound itself, because with a betrayal wound, there comes betrayal blindness. Now, I was doing I'm still doing my studies and my research on this, but it's pretty much being unaware, not knowing, or even forgetting the betrayal. And this is pretty much where it's like, okay, betrayal blindness is pretty much to preserve the relationship with the person who committed the betrayal. So let's just say, for example, you had a narcissist. Your mom is a narcissist, right? And your mom had been narcissistically abusing you throughout your life. Your mom had been betraying you throughout your life. Okay? This is your caregiver. She'd been betraying you by gaslighting, manipulating, abusing, what have you. And you pretty much took the betrayal that has been inflicted onto you and you kind of put it back there. You pushed it back there because you relied on her. You depended on her. Whatever the case. And guys, it could be anybody in your life. I'm just using this as an example. Instead of what normal people would do when someone betrays us, what do? We get up, we walk out, and we leave the person behind, right? Leave the person behind. Want nothing to do with them. You're gonna betray me. You lost all my trust. Don't want to deal with you. People who are dependent, who need the person, the betrayer, to survive, they pretty much create betrayal blindness. So they're basically staying blind to the betrayals, because the fact of the matter is, I depend on this person. I rely on this person. It's impossible for me to leave. Maybe you're disabled. Maybe you don't have a job, that you depend on the person for financial reasons. It could be anything, guys. It could be anything. Okay. And often people will question, well, and anyone who's dealing with these types of situations, well, why stay in this relationship? If this person is like this, if this person is like that, why stay in this type of relationship? It's because I depend on this person. I depend on this person. So even though the person doesn't really want to be there, they may not want to be there. They may not want to be there. Who wants to be in a relationship where they have no control, no say so, no voice, no nothing? Right? But if you're someone who, let's say, in a marriage and they're abusive, they're narcissistically abusive, domestically, physically abusive, emotionally, verbally, what have you, but you have no means. You have no means. You have no means to have your own independence. You're pretty much just taking the betrayal and pushing it to the back, because it's like, okay, well, what else can I do? What else can I do? A lot of people fall prey to this too. But a lot of the time, because often when children, you got to go back to your history. This is why I say your childhood trauma, because often when children are inflicted with a betrayal wound, they end up taking that with them throughout their relationships, and they overlook betrayals. They dissociate from the betrayal itself. They'll find themselves dissociating from the betrayal, disconnecting from the actual betrayal, throwing it in the back. Another betrayal comes in, boom, I'm going to disconnect from it, throw it in the back. Another one comes in, I'm going to, you understand? And they constantly find themselves doing it, because the fact of the matter is, a child who receives a betrayal wound, they're vulnerable. They're defenseless. They can't They can't do anything about it. So they end up pushing those in the back, in the back of their minds. And when they become older, because how many of us can remember anything from when we were like 3 years old? 3 years old. I'm lucky if I can remember anything when I was 16, so let alone 3 years old. If you can't remember, it's because a lot of the betrayals, a lot of the wounds, a lot of the childhood traumas that you have endured, that you have experienced, has been put into your subconscious mind. So when you sit there wondering, why am I codependent? Why am I codependent? Why am I, hey, if anybody in here if there is anybody who's narcissistic, who's watching, which I'm pretty sure there's quite a few, but it is what it is. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? And your ability, it's basically your ability to forget. That became your coping mechanism because over time you trained your mind to forget about it, which is why people often do hypnotherapy. They try to do hypnosis because they try to go back. They try to go back because now they're trying to go in deep into that door in the back of their mind to figure out things about themselves that they didn't realize. It's amazing how psychology works. It's amazing how the mind works, guys. It really is amazing. And I'm moving my mouse for one laptop, but I'm actually trying to. I'm sorry, access another one. I'm so sorry, guys. It's about that time. And yeah, I mean, and as far as your like, it's just like I was explaining because I wrote a lot of notes down, guys. I'm still doing my studies and I'm writing down the notes. But it's the same thing with infidelity, betrayal in your marriage, in your relationship. If you depend on your spouse, or if you depended on your spouse, financial reasons, because there was children, lack of options, whatever the case may be, you often basically these are people who became complacent in dissociating themselves with the betrayal and just pushing it to the back of their head and just kind of living out of convenience, pretty much financial convenience, any kind of convenience. It's to the point where it's like you're not even in love with the person anymore. You don't even want to be with the person anymore, but because your means are limited or short, or you really don't have any other resources, you just deal. So when people say, oh, well, why don't you just get up and leave? Why don't you just get up? For people who suffer domestic abuse, or people who have children and are in situations that they can't just up and leave, because there are other situations at play. I get it. I get it. I'm learning. I'm still learning, but I get it. I get it. A lot of us have been in our own situations. A lot of us have been there. Some people can understand, some can't. Some can't, and that's okay because at the end of the day, what you don't understand, learn about it, and then you'll understand it. Um, Rihanna, my mom is a narcissist, and my on again and off again man is a narcissist. Well, I'll tell you, sweetheart, I'm hoping to God he's off again and he stays off. Okay? It's the mere fact that if you know your mom is a narcissist and you are in a relationship with a narcissist, there's that familiarity. You had a narcissist in your life throughout your entire life. You know the narcissistic behaviors, you know the abuse. So now you're in the relationship with someone who's reflecting the same type of abuse. So it's pretty much just, it's like staying in your comfort zone, or in your trauma's comfort zone, I should say. Okay. Um, I strongly think that, because the on again, off again, you guys know how I feel about that. That on again, off again, it needs to be off and it needs to stay off because it's not going to get any better. It's really not going to get any better. And if you don't live with your mom, you have your own place. I don't really know your situation. I strongly advise that you keep a safe distance. Love her from a distance, but keep a safe distance because the toxicity that these people have can really corrupt your mind beyond belief. Okay. I'm still unscrambling certain things in my brain as I'm moving along. They're very, very corrupt up here. They're very corrupt, and I only hope that, I can't even say I hope your mom breaks out of it, because she's your mom, and if she's old enough, she's already reached that point. Chances are she won't. It's not going to change. She's not going to break out of that. Unfortunately, she's going to. It's going to stay this way. Um, Hold on one second. Hi, Victor. For anyone who's just now joining, listen, guys, I'm gonna post this up on my YouTube. Okay, for everyone, because who joins me on YouTube. And just if in case, if you want to just run back and view the video again, maybe there was something that, you wanted to just double check, or for anyone who, because once the live goes down, it's going to be pretty much, unattainable. So I'm gonna repost. I'm gonna stream this on my YouTube channel, and you guys can watch it on there. And don't forget, Fridays I do lives on YouTube as well. So if you're interested, join me there as well. The link and everything is in my bio, so you can always. Oh, Princess, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. I thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Everybody who's joined, for those who couldn't make it, when you catch it on the stream, love you anyway. I do my weekly pop-ins, guys, because I want to make sure you guys are good. I want to make sure you guys are, you know, you're level-headed. I will be that friend that'll be the, if you're thinking about reaching out, or if you're thinking about breaking no contact, or if they try to hoover you, girl, put that phone down. Boy, go out with your boys and go have fun. Don't even think about her. Like I'm one of those. Positive vibes only. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. And guys, I'm going to make the videos. I'm going to make the videos giving better descriptive detail. Like I said, I'm still studying this stuff too, but I'm going to make the videos giving better descriptive details. And as far as, the narcissistic relationships, better examples. So that way you guys can, you can really, really get as much as you possibly can out of it. Macy, sweetheart, send me an email. Okay, send me an email. But listen, guys, and I want you guys to remember this. Okay, if they try to hoover you, if they try to get you to break no contact, if they try to throw something happened, or a sob story, or what have you, okay, I'm gonna start making bracelets. I'm gonna start making bracelets. You know how they have the "What would Jesus do" bracelets? I'm gonna make you guys bracelets that say "What would Erica do?" Okay, what would Erica do? All right, I want you guys to heal, man. I want you guys to see the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journeys that are waiting for you, because trust me, they're there. It's there. You just got to get there. You just got to get there. Thank you, positive vibes. And I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue trying. I'm going to continue to do my best, and helping whomever, guys. If you want, I do group meetings. I also do one-on-ones. The one-on-ones go a lot faster, like, when people are signing up for it. But just know that they're not, there's no charge. They're free. It's just going to take me a little bit of time. But if you're interested, email me, narcsurvival101@gmail.com. The Skype meetings are also, free. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay anything, guys. This is all free. If you want to donate to the channel, that's perfectly fine. My YouTube channel has the Cashapp, and of course the PayPal for anybody who would like to donate. All right, it's all appreciated, but you don't have to make a donation to talk to me, or to get a one-on-one or anything like that. Okay, it's all, this is my way of giving back. God has blessed me. God has given to me. He is still continuing to bless me. And I want to help people. I want to help people get through it. All right. I want to help people get through it. So When I decide to get back out there and start dating again, I'm not trying to be dealing with none of this nonsense, man. I'm really not. I'm really not. But I just want to see. I'm one of those who likes to see people happy. That's all. I like to see people happy. I don't like to see people hurting or, suffering for just trying to be good people and trying to love other people. I can't. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't even want to see my ex miserable. I don't want to see him miserable. I never did want to see him miserable. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you didn't want to see yours miserable either, which was why we spent a lot of time doing what we did. But at the end of the day, that's something that he has to take up with God, and I'm out of it. Leave me out of it. I can't throw no lifesavers. I can't throw no life rafts. I can't do any of that because God is keeping me separated from this person for a reason, just like God is keeping you separated from these people for a reason. You understand? They have to own up to what they've done and they have to face it. And that means without you. Okay. God has other plans for you guys. God has other plans for you guys. So as much as we would love to, heal them and change them and, wish that things could be different. I mean, listen, if it were that easy, God would have done it like that, but he gave us free will and we have to understand that. And we have to, so pray to him. All right. But just understand something. Wanting these people in our lives, and I tell this to people all the time, sometimes when you pray to God, sometimes it's a hard no. And that hard no is being shown to you in their actions. Okay. And at the end of the day, we could want to sit here and say that they're good people inside, deep down, deep down inside. But that good person that they were supposed to be, was taken away from them at a very early age. And no amount of good deeds that they've done, no amount of grand gestures, no amount of I love yous, no amount of, gifts, lavish gifts, what have you, is going to bring that person back. I'm sorry. I really am. And I wish I could give a better end result of it. But with your new elevation and your new life and the way things are going to be going for you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, once you're healed and you've gotten through all the motions and you've done the work, God's going to be opening up a lot more doors for you. So much so that person, these people, they're not even going to be a type anymore. They're not. They're not. So keep going with it, guys. Keep going. Okay, there you go, Afro. There you go. There you go. Okay, may God be with you. I pray that he blesses you and he protects you and he keeps you, he keeps you under his wings and just continues to protect you along your journey. I pray that God protects all of you guys, all of you. Okay, that he's with you. He comforts you during your struggles. He comforts you in your pain, and he really shows you. He's going to show you the rainbow. Trust me, you're going to see it and you're going to be like, oh my God, Erica, you were so right. It's beautiful over here. It's amazing. My confidence is through the roof. I'm so happy. I'm genuinely happy. I don't let nobody get to me. Everything is just great. You're going to be here, guys. You're going to be here. And then you're going to come back because I'm going to need your help because there's going to be a lot more people that's going to need it. Okay. So, guys, get on your healing. Please get on your healing because I need more help. Norma, they will not change? They can. It takes a lot of work, dedication, therapy. It takes a lot. Will they do it? More than likely not. You have very, very little, tiny, by tiny, I mean really, really tiny percentage of aware narcissists. Narcissists who are aware of their conditions and want to actually change. It's very rare. Very rare. But is it possible? It can. It can happen. I'm not going to say no, it's not possible. Anything is. But will they do it? That's the better question. How many chances should someone get? I struggle with cutting someone after the first red flag or poor narc. I'll be honest with you, with my new mindset, the first sign of a red flag, no, no. If it's too familiar, if it triggers you, if it brings you back to that dark space where you were once before, no. Listen, people are going to come with red flags, right? People are going to come with all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, what I would tell people is I would use a reference of what happened the last time you ignored a red flag. What happened the last time you ignored a red flag? A small red flag can become bigger and bigger and bigger. There's 7 billion people on this planet, sweetheart. If they're showing you red flags, especially early on, no, no. They just did you the favor. They gave you the scissors. Doesn't that thin the herd too much? How will we find someone without any red flags? But you're not going to find someone without any red flags because, like I said, my codependency would have been a red flag to a lot of people. It would have been a red flag to a lot of people. And in thinning, listen, if someone is showing you, it's like saying, okay, if someone lies to you, a little white lie, okay, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You can give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, you can give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, okay. Hey, well, Karen, I am, something, and I appreciate her strength and her courage for even saying this. And she said, I got an STD twice because I ignored the red flags. Okay, and something, I give it to you, girl. Listen. I would take my hat off, but I wouldn't want my hair to come out. I don't want my hair to come off. But Karen just said it. Okay, it's just a matter of, we got to be careful, guys. If you want to give someone the benefit of the doubt, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. That's completely up to you. But just understand something. Giving them the benefit of the doubt, if they show something beyond that, then you may have to just cut them off. I personally I personally look at it this way. I'm not afraid of losing anyone. I'm not afraid of losing anyone. As long as I don't lose myself like I did last time or the time before that. So, um, Helen B. Jug 333. What is an STD? It's a sexually transmitted disease. I've been in a 12-year relationship with a narcissist, and she wants to change to not lose me. I've been in a 12-year relationship with a narcissist, and she wants to change to not lose me. Oh, I can tell you this much. Yeah. I mean, she wants to change to not lose you. 12 years? You guys had 12 years together? She's been a narcissist for 12 years and now she wants to change? I'll tell you something. They will say anything and everything to get you to not leave them, especially if they don't have new supply in their midst. If they don't have new supply, around, they will say any and everything. It's kind of like someone being in jail. Someone who's in jail, and let's just say their bond is $1.5 million, right? They're gonna say about just about anything just to get the hell out of jail. You know, she's been like this for 12 years, which means that you more than likely have a severe trauma bond with her. And in light of the fact that she wants to change, which means what? Going to a therapist and pretending. I'll tell you, honey, I'll be honest. I'm always honest with everybody. I'm honest with everyone, and I'm going to continue being honest. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And that's my honest opinion. I think it's a crock. I'll be honest. Someone who has severe narcissistic tendencies, the only reason they're trying to change or trying to show some type of awareness is because what? Did you threaten to leave? Did you threaten to walk away? Did you threaten to do anything that would be remotely rejective towards her? Ruth said it well. Plus, she's got to want to change herself first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You walked away for a month. Yeah. I figured. I figured it was something there. It had to be something there. It was either you walked away, you threatened to walk away, or what have you. No, honey. No. No. And let me and I want to ask you this. In the 12 years that you guys have you been together for the full 12 years or has it been on and off again? I'm just interested in knowing because it's been on and off again. So you've been together the entire 12 years. No on again, off again, no breaking up in between, none of that. Yeah. Yep. Hardy Girl says it too. She says it too. I speak from experience. Very bad idea. Look at that. Jerome's 116 says, my narc fake going to online therapy if it meant me staying. They would even lie about a death. Yeah. And Norma, you got people here who've experienced it and they know they've been there and they know. She's telling you what you want to hear, honey. I'm sorry. It's what you want to hear. Whenever you threaten to walk away, whenever you could pack your bags and stay at a hotel for a couple of weeks or what have you, that's rejection. They fear rejection. They fear abandonment. They fear abandonment. Do you want to be with someone who wants to be with you simply because they don't have new supplies, simply because they fear being abandoned by you? They won't treat you right. They won't treat you right because clearly, if she's a narcissist, she's demonstrated all of the traits in, in not treating you the way you should be treated in your relationship. But the minute you decide, I'm going to get up and leave and walk out, oh, okay, no, 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 I'm sorry, I'll change, okay, I promise I'll change. She says you abandoned her. She's manipulating you, honey. I'm sorry. She's manipulating you. You abandon her. Anyone here knows that if a person leaves a narcissistically abusive or any kind of abusive relationship, you're not abandoning that person. You're saving yourself. Okay? But she's flipping it on you. So she's manipulating you to believe, excuse me, no, guilt tripping you and making you feel like, oh, you're abandoning me. You're abandoning me. You're abandoning me. Go ahead and abandon me, just like everybody else in my life abandons me. Does that sound familiar? I'm pretty sure they probably said that too. Yep, exactly. Robert said it. Making you feel guilty for trying to better yourself. No, no. It's not going to. It's going to be, and then what happens? I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'll change. I'll do whatever it takes to keep you in my life, to be together. You stay. You end up going back. What happens? It's fine for maybe the first few days, maybe even the first few weeks, and then slowly but surely everything is going to go right back into the same patterns, and everything is going to happen all over again. Only this time, because she knows that you have an interest to leave and she knows that you've already tried to leave once. Now it's going to be more difficult because now she's going to lay it in thick with the gaslighting and the manipulation and the love bombing and the devalue. And it's going to be, you're going to end up being in such a severe trauma bond, what you probably are in already because it's already been 12 years. It's going to be so bad that it's going to feel like you can't come back from this one. I really strongly, and this is my opinion, you don't have to take it. You have everybody else here saying the same thing. I strongly do not think you should take that chance. I really strongly think you shouldn't. Yeah. They'll change. I'll change. I'll go to therapy. I'll do right by you. I'll do right by the relationship. It'll be fine. It'll be good. Yeah, it'll be fine for a little bit. For a little bit. Sure. But they're gonna always end up going back to the same shit that they've gone through. They're gonna always go back to it. It's gonna be the same thing. Uh-huh. Jerome says, and the breadcrumbing, they will ghost you for a day to hook you again. As long as she can get you back in and she sees that you're bluffing, because that's what it's gonna look like to her. You're bluffing. You're bluffing. And go on your bluff, I'm telling you. It's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. And I know that you think you love her. I know that you think you are in love with her, but a trauma bond is not love. That's not love. Okay? That is mind control. That's brainwashing. That's manipulation. It's an attachment, a toxic one at that, to keep you stuck in there. Yeah, guys. Uh, Norma, I do hope that you really consider the consequences, because I'm going to be honest with you. If you're still here, it will be consequences, especially considering that you've already, once you decide, guys, to leave a narcissist or abstain from their lives, it would make no sense to try to go back, because the mere fact that you tried to leave the first time and they managed to suck you back in means that it's going to be worse, a lot worse, especially now since you try to get away from them. So just consider that, please, 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 please consider that. Okay. But guys, you guys know, please, Norma, and if you need to, you can always contact me. You can send me a private message. You can send me an email, whatever you need. Okay, whatever you need. My end game, my goal is to see people heal. That's my goal. See, help people see their worth, help people see how much more valuable they are, and help them see that they can do much better. They can do way better. Okay? Absolutely. Absolutely, Hardy girl. I have to guys. Oh, Norma, thank you. Thank you. And again, you can send me a message, okay? Whenever, if for whatever reason, you can send me a message. I'll be more than glad to help you with anything you need help. And my friend Amanda, she knows, she's been through the motions too. She's been in a long, extended relationship with someone, probably around the same amount of time, and I'm sure she can give you a lot of advice too as well. So, definitely stay in touch, and just email me if you need me for anything. Um, Rihanna, also, if you can email me, okay? If you can email me, anybody who I didn't get a chance to, I'm so sorry if I didn't get a chance to answer your questions. I just really wanted to get this info out there for you guys. And you guys know me. I get so caught up, and when I'm talking, I'm nonstop. I know. I'm a blabbermouth. I know. I know. I gotta try to chill with it, but I just love, like, when I learn new information, I'm like, I gotta get it out. I gotta get it to these people. I gotta let them know what this is. So, um, guys, thank you so, so very much for being here with me tonight. Thank you so, so very much for your support, for your love, your words of encouragement, just for, just for being who you are, and everything that you guys have been doing. Thank you. You guys, it means a lot to me. It really, really means a lot to me. And I just want you to know, if no one has told you today, you are loved, you are important, you have a voice, you are amazing, okay? You are awesome. And anything and anyone else says to you that remotely, is reflects negatively towards you, listen, I bind it in the name of Jesus and I send it back. Okay? You guys are awesome people, and we're going to get there. We are going to get there. Trust me. I'm going to help you guys to the best of my ability. And of course, God's going to help you with the strength part, because, I mean, what would we be without him, right? And just know that you guys are an amazing part of this chapter for me. And I'm just so proud and so honored to be a part of it for you. I really, really am. And I thank you all so much for the love and the support. And just like Robert says, yes, you will survive. Okay? You're survivors. And it's nowhere else but up from here, guys. Thank you so much for that, sweetheart. Afro, thank you so much. I thank you again. I'm getting emotional, guys. I'm sorry. I really am getting emotional. So I know, because before I start crying and my eyeliner starts, but you guys really are amazing. You really are amazing people. And just know that there was, God has someone for you. He has someone for you. Okay? So I need you to heal. I need you to get through it. Okay? So you can get to that person, you can get to the highest point of your life and never look back. Never look back. All right, guys? Yes. Yes. Angela, next it's gonna be Wednesday. I rotate between Tuesday and Wednesday. So next week it will be Wednesday. Um, and if you guys are just, interested in me sending the schedules for the TikTok lives, um, I can send it to you. Just shoot me an email. I'll email you my calendar for the TikToks. And just know that on Fridays I also do YouTubes on my channel. So if you guys want to join us over there, you're more than welcome to come over there. All right. So guys, thank you so much again for being here. I love you all. I wish you all a beautiful remainder of your week. Okay. Love, peace, happiness, God's blessings, protection. You guys know all of that. I try so hard not to get emotional. I really, really try so hard. But thank you again so much, guys, for everything. You guys are truly appreciated. And if you need me for anything, guys, you know where to find me. I'm going to work on this content. I'm going to work on these videos for you and get that stuff out there for you guys. All right. So love you all, guys. Have a great night. And I will see you back here next week, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. All right. Love you guys. Bye.